98% of accounting firms are now using AI. That number comes from Carbon's 2026 State of AI in Accounting report, which just dropped. And if you stop there, you'd think the profession had figured this out. We haven't. Keep reading the report and you hit the numbers that actually matter. Only 25% of firms have a formal AI strategy. Only 41% offer any AI training to their team, and just 13% have touched agentic AI, the kind of AI that actually executes tasks instead of just answering questions. Meanwhile, outside of accounting, 57 to 79% of enterprises already have AI agents running in production. We are not keeping up. We are falling behind while telling ourselves we're ahead. Let's get into it. Because there's a massive gap between using AI and implementing AI. And that gap is where the next wave of competitive separation happens in this profession. Now, here's what using AI looks like in most CAS firms right now. One person uses ChatGPT to draft client emails. Someone else summarizes a tax article. A staff accountant experiments with categorizing a few transactions. It feels like the firm is doing AI, and I guess technically it is, but none of it connects. There's no shared workflow, no documented process, no compounding effect where today's AI work makes tomorrow's AI work faster. Every person is solving their own problems in isolation. And when they get busy, which is always, the experimentation stops. Nothing sticks. Now, the Carbon data confirms exactly this pattern. 72% of firms use AI for drafting communications. It's the low-hanging fruit. 64% for research and summaries. Great, wonderful. 55% for creating documents. 50% for bookkeeping tasks. That's AI touching nearly every function in a practice, but without strategy, without training, without any integration between these efforts. It's bolt-on thinking at scale. Lots of motion, no momentum. People are experimenting everywhere, but building nothing. And here's the thing that makes this urgent. The technology is not waiting for your firm to get its act together. The rate of AI capability improvement nearly doubled in 2024, according to Epoch AI's analysis of frontier models. Inference cost, that's the cost to run queries, dropped 280-fold in under 2 years. These models are getting dramatically better and dramatically cheaper at the same time. Every month you spend tinkering without a plan is the month the firms with a plan are pulling further ahead. So what's the fix? It's not more encouragement. It's not play around with AI and see what works. That approach made sense in 2023. It's 2026, and now it's a liability. The fix is 2 structural decisions that most firms are avoiding. First, train your team on workflows, not tools. And this is where I need to be direct with you. There's a critical difference between teaching someone to use GPT and teaching them to rebuild your monthly close process around AI. The first gives you a person who can draft a faster email. The second gives you a practice that closes books in half the time. Those are not the same thing. And most firms are stuck on the first one. The Carbon report shows 87% of practitioners are most excited about speed and efficiency. They want this. Your team wants this. But speed doesn't come from scattered prompting. It comes from structured workflows where AI handles the repeatable steps and your team handles the judgment calls. Think about your bank reconciliation process, your client onboarding, your year-end file prep. Each of those has a sequence of tasks. Some require real expertise, but most don't. The firms pulling ahead right now aren't just using AI somewhere inside those workflows. They've redesigned the entire workflow around what AI makes possible. That's the difference between a 10% productivity bump and a 3 times capacity increase. Training your team on workflow engineering, not just how to use a chatbot, is what turns scattered experiments into a practice that actually delivers faster. It's the difference between one person who knows some AI tricks and an entire firm that operates at a different speed. Now, second, this one's personal. Pick your champion, and it shouldn't be you. Let me be real for a second. I made this mistake. I tried to be the AI champion inside my own practice. It made perfect sense at the time. I cared the most. I understood the strategic stakes. I figured I'd lead from the front. But it was a second, third, or fourth job that I had. And when client issues came up, the kind only I could solve, AI implementation got pushed aside. Every time. I missed learning windows I should have jumped through. I lost opportunities I should have taken much, much sooner. The strategic importance of AI didn't protect it from the operational reality of running a practice. There is always something seemingly more urgent sitting on the partner's desk. Now, having someone else inside the firm be the primary driver, with me providing direction and them giving me pointers on what's actually working, that would have significantly accelerated our adoption. I know that now. I wish I'd figured it out sooner. And the carbon data backs this up. Firms that offer training have more excited, engaged staff. Firms without training have more skeptical and scared teams. The person closest to your daily work, your senior accountant, your operations manager, your most curious team member, is better positioned to find the friction points, test solutions, and build repeatable processes that actually stick. They are in those workflows every day. You are not. This is what I call the champion model. Not someone who dabbles with AI on the side. Someone whose job explicitly includes driving AI adoption, with your support and your authority behind them. When I look at the firms that are actually getting traction versus the ones that keep planning to get to AI eventually, the difference almost always comes down to one thing: whether someone specific owns it. I want to give you a real example of what this looks like when it works. Angie is the owner of Reconciled Solutions and knew that AI was going to change how her firm operates. But she also knew she wasn't the right person to lead the implementation. Her words: she's not on the list of early adopters. So she signed up her lead accounting manager, Chris, for structured AI training. Chris dove in, and the results were immediate. In his words, he really went down the rabbit hole. The firm built what they call a client strategy hub, a centralized source of client intelligence with 4 layers of depth that now drives how they deliver advisory. That's not someone playing around with ChatGPT. That's a firm that made the 2 decisions we're talking about today: train on workflows and pick your champion, and got a completely different outcome than the firms that are still tinkering. Now, here's the number from the carbon report that should put all of this in perspective. 100% of firms surveyed reported positive impacts from AI, every single one. And 52% reported 0 negative impacts. The objections, accuracy concerns, data privacy worries, the "it's not mature enough" defense, they are fading inside the profession itself. The problem isn't skepticism anymore, it's inertia. Every month your firm operates without a trained team and a named champion is a month the firms that have both are compounding their advantage. They're building workflow libraries you don't have, training institutional knowledge into AI systems you haven't started, operating at a speed you simply cannot match by hiring more people. So here's what I need you to do. If your team is experimenting with AI, but nothing is changing in how work actually gets delivered, the problem isn't effort. It's structure. 2 decisions. Train your team on workflows, not just tools, and pick your champion. Someone who actually owns this, who lives in the work, who can drive adoption from the inside while you provide the direction from the top. These 2 decisions are worth more than another year of playing around with it. And if you need a structured path to get your team there, that's exactly what our AI Black Belt training program does. 5 disciplines, starting with workflow engineering and building all the way through to agent orchestration. Repeatable systems that your team and your champion can own and your team can actually adopt. go to the aiaccountant.ai for more information. The gap between using AI and implementing AI is where practices win or lose right now. Close the gap. Start this week. Thanks for watching.